Alrighty, getting ready to drive back home and do a nice review of this carb. Now, I have looked up, there it is, the legal laws. I can drive with my light on. I hope. Now, I am going to blow clean on a breathalyzer test and do everything just fine, so I hopefully shouldn't get in too much trouble. Now, I apologize for any crinkling. I just grabbed some groceries, and people are looking at me like I'm insane because I'm talking to my phone. And there's a person who decided not to stop or slow down. Thank you, person. Now, I am going to do a couple hard pulls. I got a full tank of gas, so that's weighing me down a little bit. But, alright, now I gotta watch out for people and turn on my lights. This is fun. People are just staring at me right now. I don't know why. Probably because I have my light on and they can see me. But, yeah. We are loaded down with quite a bit of cargo right now. I apologize for the shaky camera. You know, roads in Arizona aren't necessarily the best. And also, you guys may think I'm some sort of psychopath because I have no music playing in the background, but copyright avoidance is a real thing, especially on YouTube now. And I don't know why. I'm looking over here. The camera's right there. Is this considered distracted driving if I'm recording myself? Okay. Now, let's welcome everybody. Thank you for watching Burnt Clutch Garage. This is Logan. Oh, green arrow! Freak yeah! Do not go, Jeep. I'm watching you. Ooh, getting in them secondaries. Undisclosed amount of speed. I hope you guys had your timers ready from when I turned. It was about 60, I will admit. I am obeying the speed limits. Alright? I am. I am on an undisclosed road, in an undisclosed city, in an undisclosed part of town. But I am obeying the speed limits. 0 to 60. I don't know how fast that was, but I hope you guys were able to time that. But I'm going the speed limit. I cannot stress this enough. Now, this carburetor, I freaking love the thing. Cost about $370 with the air filter and electric choke. The electric choke, in my opinion, is super handy because you don't got to drill any new holes, don't got to do anything fancy to it. You just basically take the harness off, plug the red wire into where your other red wire for your choke went into your carburetor. There's only one vacuum port on it. I have it completely blocked off, which is kind of against, what's it called, emission standards, but that's okay. I'm planning on registering this in a non-emissions area, so it's technically legal after that point. I can do whatever the heck I want to my truck. So this carburetor, $370, came with an air filter, electric choke, all the fancy little doodads. Adds about 10 to 15 horsepower to your vehicle, depending on what you do. Now, these carburetors have been known to leak around the actual intake adapter plate that they come with. I had the fortune of not having to deal with that. I didn't use any sealants. I didn't do anything fancy to it. I just plopped it on there, screwed her down, bam, everything was A-okay. I love this thing now. Oh my god. Intake noises, freaking great. There's nothing better than actually being able to feel like it's pulling, like it's accelerating in 5th gear. Because that was the one thing about my previous carburetor that I hated. Even though I rebuilt it, the secondaries still wouldn't work, and I had no idea why. But now, I got secondaries again, which is freaking awesome. I never had secondaries in the first place, never knew quite what it felt like, but the moment that I stuck this thing on and went full throttle and heard that grunt of the motor just taking in a whole bunch of air and fuel, oh, that was the stuff right there. I will admit, performance gains, you feel them. The actual feeling of the performance, like, you know, intake noises, your truck's making new noises, it makes you feel like you're making so much power when in reality you're making about 100. But still, 100 is nothing to scoff at, considering the fact that a lot of cars from the 80s did make a little bit more horsepower than 100 horsepower, but still, you know, for a 4-cylinder, long stroke, decent bored motor, you know, it's mainly making more torque than it is horsepower, and that's kind of what I care about. Now, this carburetor, I don't remember the exact specs on how much it did to torque, but it did do a decent amount, and I can feel it. I need to replace my clutch soon, though, because I do feel it slipping because there is a bunch of new power put into it. But, this thing has worked beautifully. No clogged jets. I definitely need to tune it a little bit better. I think it's running a little bit rich. It diesels when I turn it off sometimes. So, that's mainly after a bit of hard driving. You know, hard acceleration, prolonged, high RPM. And truck doesn't smell like gas, which I've noticed with a lot of other aftermarket carburetors that I've used on my other vehicles. Like on my Volkswagen, for a while there, I had a big old fat Weber carburetor on it, and now I did learn that that was too much carburetor for that motor, but it did smell like gas quite often. This, don't smell any gas, super duper nice power delivery. It's not like it's just, you know, whack right there. It doesn't bog down unless I do anything that makes it bog down, or just forcing it to bog down in general. I really do wish that I could, me being me, I wish I could do a burnout. I probably could if I wasn't such a wimp about it and actually, you know, made it do a burnout or learned how to do a burnout. If you guys already know how to do it, good on you. I've tried to figure out how to do it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Woo! But, freaking love this thing. I know I'm getting off track. I do that a lot. Got that ADHD brain, you know it. But, no, I freaking love this thing. All the new noises, all the new power, just the ability to step on the gas and actually pass somebody without them just kind of looking over at you and just tapping their gas pedal, and, you know, you're gone. You're shoot behind them. I am going to hop into this lane because these people. 2 Priuses! Wow! Alright, 0 to 60 run. Bam, 0 to 60. Still within the speed limits. But, you know, I'm not getting pulled over. I've made sure I drive safely. Now, the one thing that I will complain about with this carburetor is that I have noticed a slight dip in fuel efficiency, but that is to be expected when putting something like a power adder on your vehicle. And it's not forced injection or forced air injection or anything fancy like that, but it still takes just smidgen. I clocked in with my old carburetor at about 35 miles per gallon, but that was also because I was only using the primaries and never touched the secondaries. With this carburetor, I'm making about 30 to 32, which isn't a big dip, obviously. And around 65 is the cruising with the best fuel efficiency. But I made it from the city of Tucson all the way up, probably 3/4 of the way to Flagstaff. Then I drove to Sedona, and then I had to get gas, drove to Prescott, and then back, and then still had about a quarter tank in this truck. Now, I may be 100% wrong about my fuel mileage, which is understandable. I wasn't the best at math, but even still. I'm just making sure I'm not running into nobody and no one's running into me. That's the one thing that I need to make sure happens. But, just let me know if you guys actually enjoy the, in-car talks that I'm giving. Because I do actually enjoy talking while driving, and I hope I'll be able to do this in the day, so I don't have to worry about lights. And not really I can see just fine, it's just a little light. Because my big-ass forehead shadows it a little bit. But I am actually really, really pumped. I'm going into college for my ASE certification, so I'll actually be able to do what I love as a job. Now, I understand skin off the topic of the Weber, but I'm really excited. I really am. Being able to go do what I love for a job, actually be able to be certified to work on vehicles for other people, being able to talk to other people about what's wrong, what's going on, stuff like that. And it makes me really, really happy to be able to do this stuff. And it also makes me really happy because stuff like this, I'm going to be able to document, and I'll be able to look back on it in the past, and you guys will also be able to do the same exact thing. Now, the one thing that I hope is that I'm going to be able to show my life change as this channel grows and as I grow as a person. That's just going to mean the freaking world to me. I'm going to love that. I love this truck. I love cars. That's just, what should I call this? Should I call this like co-pilot talks? I don't know. I feel like I should make this into like a little mini-series where I just drive around and talk about random crap. Because that's fun. It really is. Because not everything has to be, working on stuff. And I by no means want to become a vlog channel, because that's... I'm good. But, the more, I just love talking about cars and stuff. Oh, that's something. So, I want to ask you guys a question, because I have been racking my brain and racking the internet about this thing. So, my truck has always been a mystery to me with the trim level and all sorts of things like that. My trim code was F, like Frank, P, like pineapple. I think it was 41, FP41. I found absolutely nothing online about that. Now, my VIN plate is a little interesting looking. I've noticed on a lot of them they say what motor they have, like powered by 22R or powered by 22RE and stuff like that. Mine does not say anything like that underneath or on the top corner. I've put in my VIN number, and when I put it into a normal VIN lookup site, finds it, Toyota regular cab. I'm like, sweet, but it doesn't tell you my trim level. I've looked it up on Toyota's website, Nothing that's really to write home about. It's the exact same information all these other free VIN lookup sites were doing. I really do wish that the history of this truck was more well documented, because I think it would be just so much fun to be able to tear into the history of this thing, which I am hoping I'm going to be able to do with my Volkswagen, because Volkswagen actually gives out birth certificates of your car down to the day, the time, and the year that car was produced. And they give you a little birth certificate. That's freaking awesome. But, I'm almost home. That's the one thing I've got to say right now. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me rant for about, 16, 17 minutes. It's going to be 100% uncut. I just love making videos. They're actually really fun. It's nice to talk to the camera. It feels like there's somebody in here with me, which is the one thing I hate to do is drive alone. It's a little sad. But, no, this has been about 17 minutes of uncut me talking about random crap and doing a little review on my carburetor. I know you guys might have been waiting for that for a little while, the 3 of you so far. But, no, it makes me really happy to be able to do this and to just be able to work on stuff. You guys have a good night, and thank you for watching Burn Clutch Garage.